this week, SABC News Channel is running a crime feature focusing on different types of crimes and their impacts. Let's take you live now to the offices of the South African Bank Risk Information Centre, that's SABRIC. Now, SABRIC is a banking industry body that assists industries to combat crime. To give us a sense of crime in the banking space and how this is affecting the economy and personal security, my colleague Juliet Newell is sitting with their CEO, Andre Wentzel, at their offices.
Good afternoon, Fundo. Thanks so much for that. Well, I am joined by the SABRIC CEO, Andre Wentzel, and we're going to chat a little bit about banking scams. Welcome to On Point.
Good afternoon.
Let's start off by saying, what are some of the main scams affecting consumers, particularly in banking?
We see the very well-known what is called phishing, smishing, phishing scams, where through social engineering, these fraudsters gain access to clients' personal and banking information through various means, usually emails, SMSs or phone calls, and phone calls being very, very prevalent currently, gaining the trust of the people through social engineering, and then obtaining through that process the banking information, and then transact as if they were the clients, or getting the clients to do transactions. That is very, very prevalent currently.
Of course, we've got the problem of AI scams. How does SABRIC collaborate with the banking sector as well as law enforcement to keep tabs on what's actually going on in artificial intelligence fraud scams?
Well, we have dedicated intelligence teams that are actually monitoring these together with our collaborative partners. It is all about collaboration, finding, looking together at these things, and then reacting very, very quickly. So we actively are involved in the closing of these, taking off websites, apps, etc., that are being used now by these fraudsters through our collaborative partners and ourselves.
Now, what about your organization in terms of educating the public and the banking sector? Do you have programs that have been set up that people can take part in to educate them about these fraud scams?
We believe that education is the key. Unfortunately, with the scams that we are currently seeing, clients, regardless of all the alerts sent out by banks or our own initiatives, you can go onto our website, you will see there are videos and education programs there. We go out into outreach programs. People are still just giving away the information sometimes to these fraudsters. So we are actively now talking with our collaborative partners on how do we improve and how more do we actually had a meeting this morning with one of those in terms of increasing the outreach of these education programs. Definitely education is the key. Unfortunately, we have to say that our clients need to educate themselves as well. They need to stay abreast of this. They must actually read and act upon the alerts that they get. The education is the key for us.
Now, I believe that SABRIC employs AI technologies to counter sophisticated scams. Is that right?
We do explore AI-driven tools. We do use that as well. Just remember, we as SABRIC, we are not on the client transaction streams ourselves. So we, again, work with our collaborative partners, with regulators, with others who are closer to the actual transactions, and the banks themselves. So we work with the banks in terms of exploring these tools that, for instance, can identify deep fake videos and all sorts of other technologies. Of course, I cannot go into the details of the tools, but yes, that is the future of digital fraud prevention.
Does SABRIC also work with social media companies or apps, especially with regards to these deep fakes that are just becoming more and more and more and more believable?
Definitely, yes. We do work with the social media organizations, and we actively, again, our intelligence teams actively monitor these. And the whole issue is to try and respond as quickly as possible when they are identified to close them down.
How do you work with banks to communicate to them what is going on with not just AI technology, but other scams that are within the banking systems. Do you advise them?
Yes, we do issue alerts to the banks when we pick up anything new. We also have specific work streams within SABRIC where we actually bring these, our partners and our member banks together. We have a workshop here tomorrow, as a matter of fact, sitting with banks on a specific matter. And in that way, we all learn from each other. We find the best ways. We issue then papers, white papers on these, and we even then will talk to our regulators where it's needed for policy changes, etc.
And lastly, just one piece of advice for consumers.
Be vigilant. Protect your personal information. Do not click on a link that you get in an email or on social media. Click on a link requiring you to download an app to go look at an investment. If it looks too good to be true, what you are looking at, it is probably a scam. Protect your information at all times.
Thank you very much. That was the CEO, the acting CEO of SABRIC, Andre Wentzel.